The student, staff, and parents of Mountlake Terrace High School are very proud and pleased to welcome you to tonight's men's basketball contest between the Roosevelt Rough Riders and your Mountlake Terrace Hawks. This game is being played according to the rules of the WIAA, and these rules provide for fair competition among players. Spectators, you can also help promote sportsmanship by observing the rules of fair play, and the fans here at the Terraceum value our rich tradition of ensuring that every game embodies the spirit of great sportsmanship. And we certainly invite you to further that tradition this evening. And now, here are the starting lineups for tonight's game. We will start with the visiting Rough Riders. One of the guards, he stands 5'9", and he's a senior wearing number 1, Lewis Gregerson Spencer. For the Hawks, a 5'8" junior guard wearing number 10, Gabe Powder. For Roosevelt, a 6'4" senior forward wearing number 10, Aiden Woodford. For the Hawks, a 6'3" junior wing wearing number 24, Gabe Altenberger. For the Rough Riders, a 6'2" senior guard wearing number 15, Cameron Haslam. For the Hawks, a 6'1" senior forward wearing number 30, Ryan Lacasse. For Roosevelt, a 6'3" senior guard wearing number 20, Carl Salvino. For the Hawks, a 6'2" junior forward wearing number 34, Derek Anima. And finally, for the Rough Riders, wearing number 24, he's a 6'4" junior guard, Jonathan Lang. And finally, for the Hawks, a 6'3" senior post wearing number 42, Justin Hopkins. Head coach for Roosevelt, Bart Brandenburg. Head coach for the Hawks is Nayland Sood. He's assisted by Greg Wirtz, Johnny Phillips, Al Shannon, Tim Cashman, and Anthony Asbury. The trainer, Shannon Ripley. Manager, Michael Guardiano. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And we are just about ready to play some basketball. A quick reminder that the concession stand is open just outside the northeast entrance of the Terraceum. And also, this is a regular school function. The use of alcoholic beverages or tobacco products anywhere on the Mountlake Terrace High School campus is prohibited by Washington state law. Once again, welcome to the Terraceum.
Welcome to the Terraceum and welcome to the Sound Live Sports Network. Steve Willits here. And we are live tonight at MTHS High School. The Mountlake Terrace Hawks coming into this game with a record of 2 wins and 1 loss. They are playing a non-conference game tonight against the Roosevelt Rough Riders. Team just a few miles south of here. Team now playing in the Metro Conference, moving over from Kingco, and we'll talk about that a little more as the game goes on. We are underway. We'll get you some starting lineups here in just a moment. Gabe Powder with the ball. The Hawks wearing it, by the way, just noticed this for the first time, new jerseys tonight. And they look sharp. Gabe Powder with the ball, kicks it over to Gabe Altenberger. Altenberger driving baseline, floats it up, leaves it a little bit short. That's Lewis Gregerson Spencer with the rebound. Kicks it into the corner for 3. That is Jonathan Lang for the 2, I guess a long 2 at that. 6'4" junior making that basket. Down the other end, Justin Hopkins thought about a shot, kicks it to Derek Anima. Anima shuffles his feet, gets called for the travel. So as stated before, we'll get you some lineups here in just a moment for the Roosevelt Rough Riders. Number 1, a 5'9" senior, Lewis Gregerson Spencer. Oh, by the way, he has the ball. Just kicked it over to the 6'4" senior, Aiden Woodford. He's wearing the number 10. Number 15, a 6'2" senior by the name of Cameron Haslam. Haslam was an all-Kingco selection last year, all-league. He's been the leading scorer for Roosevelt in each of their first 2 games so far this season. Number 20, another senior, Carl Savano. Wearing the number 20 tonight, Number 15, Cameron Haslam, hits the three in the corner. It's an early 5-0 lead for the Rough Riders. And then rounding out the starting lineup, we've already mentioned his name once, the junior, the only underclassman on the team, Jonathan Lang, is Gabe Powder for the Hawks. Bounces that one off his foot. Into the backcourt, over and back. That means it is Rough Rider basketball. Getting you caught up on your Mountlake Terrace Hawks starting lineup. Number 10, the 5'8" junior guard, Gabe Powder. Number 24, 6'3" junior wing, Gabe Altenberger. Number 34, 6'2" junior, Derek Anima. Anima had a huge game the other night. Traveling called against Gregerson. It's turned over to the Hawks. Ryan Lacoste, the senior, 6'1" forward, wearing the number 30. And the lineup is rounded out with number 42, the 6'3" senior post, Justin Hopkins. So 3 juniors and 2 seniors on the court for the Hawks to start this game. 4 seniors and a junior for the Rough Riders. Nima drives into the lane, it draws the foul. That's going to be on Aiden Woodford. First foul of the game for either team. Roosevelt 2 games into their season thus far. Altenberger looking to get the ball in, throws it to Gabe Powder, who's going to bring it out on top. New 35-second clock with the foul. Altenberger with some fancy dribbling, gets it over to, or Powder rather, kicks it to Altenberger. Almost loses it, gets it back to Powder, down to 20 on the shot clock. Powder being trapped in the corner, trying to dish it, gets batted away. Roosevelt coming up with the ball, and they're looking to push. 3-on-5, 2 Roosevelt players coming up behind the rest of the team. Now we get a full court of 10 players. Number 24, Lang with the ball. Kicks it over to Haslam. We've yet to see him score tonight. Shot from the corner of the free throw line. Lewis Gregerson, Spencer hits the basket. We get a 30-second timeout for the Hawks. We'll take a break. You're watching the Sound Live Sports Network.
Sound Live Sports Network production services are provided by the Broadcast Field Production Class, a CTE intra-district course. If you are a student in the Edmonds School District, you can be part of the exciting world of live sports production. Learn about broadcast announcing, broadcast engineering, and sports reporting while providing a valuable service to your community. Contact your school counselor today to find out more and sign up for Broadcast Field Productions.
And welcome back, the Mountlake Terrace Hawks traveling 7-0. Hopkins with a little hook shot, putting Terrace on the board for the first time tonight. Justin cutting that Roosevelt lead down to 7-2, 5:20 to go here in the first quarter. Roosevelt continuing to swing that ball around. Haslam with the ball, kicks it out. Gregerson Spencer looking to drive the lane. They're going to get the Mountlake Terrace Hawks with a hand check. It's going to go against number 24, Gabe Altenberger. First team foul against Terrace here tonight. Non-shooting foul. Haslam drives in, goes up with the shot, was blocked by Anima. However, the referees feel like there was contact. Anima gets called with his first foul. Second team foul of the game against the Hawks. That means Cameron Haslam will shoot 2. Bounced off the rim a couple times, falls into the hoop. Haslam with 4 points here in the first quarter. Haslam swishing the second one. 5 now for Haslam. 9-2. Roosevelt with the 7-point lead here. Not quite 3 minutes into this one. Anima out on the right wing, kicks it over to Powder up on top. Powder looking for Anima once again. 20 to go on the shot clock. Tries to bounce it into Lacoste. Lacoste couldn't quite handle that one. They get a foul called against Lacoste, his first, 3rd team foul. He might have been able to pick up over the microphone there a minute ago. Coach Nayland Sood not happy with his team, telling the guys do not force the basketball, and that's exactly what they did. It forces a turnover, And consequently, the Hawks then turn around and foul. 3 fouls against the Hawks here in the first quarter, only 1 against Roosevelt. Gregerson Spencer forces that shot way off the mark. Anima trying to go the other end, stolen by Haslam. Nice pass up front. And laying it in for the easy bucket. That's number 1 rather, Lewis Gregerson Spencer. Try saying that fast 5 times. 4 points for him here in the first quarter. 11-2 Roosevelt with the early lead here over the Hawks. Powder almost threw a bounce pass. Aiden Woodford was waiting for that one. Fortunately for Powder, he pulls up and recognized it. Holds off. We're swinging the ball around right now. 10 seconds to go on the shot clock. Anima looking for something here. He throws it over to Altenberger. Altenberger, 16-footer, off balance, can't get it. Hopkins tries to bat the ball away from the Roosevelt Rough Riders. Unfortunately, bats it right to Gregerson Spencer, who comes up with it. And back on the other end, here come the Rough Riders. 3:38 to go, first quarter. Haslam floating it off the glass, can't get that one to go. Anima coming up with the rebound. Hawks looking to get something going here on offense. It hasn't come easy so far tonight. 3:24 to go. Anima throws a pass, batted into the air by Carl Savano. Fortunately for the Hawks, they were able to retrieve that one. Down to 15 to go on the shot clock. Altenberger looking to pick up a screen, goes to his left, kicks it into the corner. Anima, spin move. He's down to 9 seconds on the shot clock. Altenberger for 3, no. Back out to Altenberger. We're down to 4 on the shot clock. 2 seconds he's got to shoot. And Anima might have been bailed out by Roosevelt, and he was. As number 15, Cameron Haslam, reaching in, picking up the foul. Sure, if you are Roosevelt coach Bart Brandenburg, you cannot be happy about that one. He was down to 1 second on the shot clock, essentially bailing out the Hawks. They get a new 35 now. 3:01 to go here in the first quarter. The referee's given a stern warning to 2 of the players out there. 2 point guards, Lewis Gregerson Spencer and Gabe Powder, getting into it a little bit. Hand checking one another. Referee just letting them know that's not acceptable. Still guarding each other very closely as Powder with the ball, dribbles to the left, kicks it over to Daniel Johnson, who's checked into the game for the first time. Johnson making a lot of contact, and they're going to call him for a charge. Give Gregerson Spencer, for the Rough Riders, a lot of credit on that one. Holds his ground. Hawks picking up their 4th foul of the quarter. It's the good news if you're a Hawks fan, all 4 fouls coming from different players. Nobody in foul trouble thus far. Lacoste checking the point now for the first time tonight. That's Lang driving into the lane, kicks it back out. Lang, the junior, looking for room, drives to the hoop. And drawing the charge is Derek Anima. Great job by Anima to stand his ground. Hawks getting the turnover there. Lang picking up his first foul. 3rd team foul against Roosevelt, and much like the Hawks, nobody on their team with more than 1 foul thus far. 2:30 to go, first quarter. Roosevelt 11, Mountlake Terrace 2. Non-conference game from the Terraceum in Mountlake Terrace. Anima, 10-footer, throws it short. Ryan Lacoste gets the offensive board. Puts it up against the glass, gets it to drop. 11-4. Roosevelt with the 7-point lead with 2:08 to go here in the first quarter. Evan Doyle, number 4, check in the game for the first time tonight for Roosevelt. Lang from the corner, gets that one to go. Jonathan Lang with 4 points here tonight so far. He's averaging 9 a game for the season. And he's going to get a few more here, maybe. Lang driving down, no, he kicks it back to Doyle. Doyle floats it up, and nice defense by Powder. Doyle, I think a little reluctant to go right in at him, didn't want to pick up the charge, and on the other end, Lacoste lays it in, 13-6. Roosevelt had the 2-on-1 against the much shorter Powder, and Gabe doing a nice job of forcing a bad shot from Doyle. Doyle driving the lane, lost the ball. It goes right to Silvano, though. From the corner, hits the 3. Silvano with his first points of the night. He had 16 the other night against Bainbridge. 16-6 with 1:06 to go here in the first quarter. Daniel Johnson kicks it over to Ryan Lacoste. Lacoste going to drive the lane, floats it up. No basket. They're going to say he was fouled. However, it was before the shot. It's called continuation in the NBA. He would have been given that one and a free throw. Unfortunately for him, it was before the basket was thrown into the air. Lang picking up his second foul of the ball game. And Neiman's going to check out here momentarily for a break. Number 40, Shimron Massey, checking in for the first time this season. Massey's been out with an injury. Keep an eye on him, see how his conditioning is, and see if he can get the rust off. Coming in a tough spot with the Hawks down by 10. 51 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Lacoste getting into a bit of trouble. Kicks it out to Johnson. Johnson floats one up. Basket goes in. Going to say he double dribbled. Rough night for Johnson so far. He's already been called with a charge. Now he turns it over via the double dribble. Roosevelt back on the other end. 10-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Nice job by Johnson swatting the ball out of the hands of number 21, Nolan Sudell. Right back to the Rough Riders, however. Floating one up along the baseline. That's Gregerson Spencer. Airballed it over the top of the rim. Nice job by Gabe Altenberger to bat the ball off of Haslam. And with 25.7 seconds to go here in the first quarter, the Hawks can take as much time as they want now. The shot clock is off until the end of the quarter. It's 16-6. They're trailing the Rough Riders. That ball was almost thrown away as Haslam, intending that one for Daniel Johnson, flew right by him. Unfortunately for the Hawks, right into the hands of Powder. 10 seconds to go here on the game clock. Hawks swinging the ball around. Powder over in the corner. 5 seconds to go. Drives the lane. Throws one up. They say that ball was batted out by Roosevelt. No foul, however. 3.9 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Let's see what the Hawks can dial up on an inbound. Daniel Johnson underneath the hoop. Throws it down to Lacoste. Lays it in. Beautiful play by Lacoste and Johnson. Lacoste with 6 of the Hawks' 8 points here in the first quarter. And we've come to the end of the first with our score. The Roosevelt Rough Riders 16, the Mountlake Terrace Hawks 8. You are watching the Sound Live Sports Network.
Are you a whiz in filmmaking? Do you want to become extraordinary in filmmaking? Then come to Shoreline Community College and work with Shoreline Productions, where you will learn to transform your work in teams of working professionals and students to create enchanting effects such as green screen, text animation, and so much more. So come to Shoreline Community College, where you can mystify and dazzle in filmmaking.
Hey sports fans, do you want to know when and where your favorite teams in the Westco Conference are playing? Who won the game last night and what the current standings are? Well, it's easy to find out on westcoathletics.com. The information is entered by athletic directors and coaches, so you know it's accurate and up to date, making westcoathletics.com the place to view official scores, schedules, standings, and photos for all the schools and all the sports in the Westco Conference. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook and check out westcoathletics.com, the official website of the Westco Conference.
Terraceum, you are watching the Sound Alive Sports Network. Brought to you by Shoreline Community College. We appreciate them for their sponsorship and support of the Sound Live Sports Network all season long, as well as our other sponsors. We are into the second quarter of action right now. Roosevelt with the ball first. They have the 16-8 first quarter lead. 20 left on the shot clock. It's number 10, Woodford. Ball ends up in the hands of the point guard, Gregerson Spencer. He's going to drive the lane, floats one up over Lacoste, gets it to fall. Gregerson Spencer with 6 points here early. He's averaging 10 per game so far this season. Had a situation with the shot clock. It didn't get set right, so the referees are stopping the game to fix that. 18-8, Roosevelt in the lead. I mentioned that Roosevelt's played 2 games so far this year already. Defeated Bainbridge earlier. I almost said Bainbridge Island. That was the original name of the school back when I went to high school here once upon a time many years ago, but it is now Bainbridge High School. Roosevelt defeated them 66-51. Their other victory over West Seattle, 60-37. Should point out that it gets much tougher for Roosevelt coming up here, and we'll talk about that here in just a second. As they've switched from the Kingco League to Metro. Nice save there. That was number 24, Lang. Saved it back into the Hawks, however. 12 seconds to go on the shot clock. Lacoste kicks it over to Altenberger. Altenberger with 7 to go on the shot clock. Underhand layup. Can't quite get that one to fall. Falls into the hands of number 21, Nolan Sudell. Roosevelt looking to take their record to 3-0 on the year. They've got a date Friday night at O'Day High School against one of the top teams in the state. And then the following Tuesday, they play Eastside Catholic, a team that's also considered one of the top 3 or 4 teams in 3A in the state this year. They then get in an easier game against Cleveland before they've got to play at Rainier Beach on January 6th. Rainier Beach is one of the top teams in the nation this year. So that should be a fun 4-game stretch there for the Rough Riders as Massey floats that one up, misses it. Nice rebound by Lacoste. Lacoste goes up strong, floats it off of the front of the iron. It falls back into the field of play, and getting the rebound is number 21, Nolan Sudell. The referees as we wait the call. Calls Sudell for an offensive foul there. His first, 5th team foul against Roosevelt as Anima checks back into the game. 16 teams playing out of that Metro Conference this year, all located in the Seattle area or within the Seattle city limits, I believe, for the most part. Push off. You've got O'Day, Rainier Beach. We already mentioned Cleveland. Eastside Catholic actually is playing in that league as well this year. Didn't even mention Lakeside amongst a few others. So it is going to be a brutal, brutal conference, and one that the Rough Riders better be ready for. They look like a good team so far from what we've seen here 10 minutes into the game. Currently leading the Hawks 18-8. Nice job by Sudell driving left baseline. Takes Massey into the air, then goes up over the top. Lays it up for 2 points, his first 2 of the game. 20-8. The Rough Riders with the 12-point lead here. 5:45 to go in the second quarter. Altenberger looking for his first points of the night. Powder looking to set the ball back up on top. 13 to go on the shot clock. Altenberger looking for Massey, stepping right in front of it. That's number 10, Woodford. Nice job by Woodford to save it. Unfortunately for him, he goes off one of his own teammates. The plus side of that for the Rough Riders is that the Hawks only have 6 seconds left on the shot clock. They've got to do something fairly quickly. 5:24 to go in the first half. Powder with the ball, 4 seconds to go on the shot clock. It's down to 2. Somebody better shoot. Shot clock violation, the whistle blows. And the ball is turned over to Roosevelt. Ali Shaw also checking back in for the Hawks. Should mention we've got a little bit of a challenge here at the Terraceum. The shot clock on the east side of the gym, the side in which the Hawks are going towards right now, does not work. We're only playing with 1 shot clock. So it's a little bit tricky when you're the Mountlake Terrace Hawks offense, at least for this quarter when they're going that way. When the shot clock starts to tick down, unless somebody's yelling it out to them, they have no idea how much time they have left. Haslam throws up the 3 ball, misses it. Coming down with a rebound, that was Derek Anima. Hawks still looking to break into double figures for the night. 4:44 to go here in the half. Altenberger back to Anima, over to Powder. Down to 16 seconds again. Shaw going to put up his first shot of the evening. The bank is open. Ali Shaw for 3. Don't think that's quite the way he was planning on shooting that one, but you know what? Counts just the same. Hawks cutting that Roosevelt lead down to 9. Lang running into his own player. That was Woodford. Doyle coming over to get the ball. They're down to 20 on the shot clock. Kicks it back to Haslam up on top. Over to Woodford. Gregerson Spencer thought about the shot, drives it into about 2 feet into the lane, misses the 13-footer. Anima comes down with the basketball. We're down under 4 minutes to go here in the second quarter now. Powder struggling a bit. He finally drives into the lane. We're going to get a foul called against Roosevelt. It's going to be on Gregerson Spencer. His first, 6th team foul in the game against the Rough Riders. One more foul and they will be in the bonus for the remainder of the half. Lacoste checking back in for Massey. 6'7" junior getting his first action of the season. Now he's going to take a seat on the bench. New 35-second clock, so we're up to 3:45 to go here in the half. Shaw thought about the shot, drives down the baseline, gets the ball swatted by Lang. Coming down with it's number 20, Salvino. Carl Salvino. Working the ball around, that's Lang. Lang's going to go left baseline, kicks it back out to Haslam. 20 on the shot clock. Salvino, there's nice movement here by Roosevelt. Everybody touching the ball on this possession. Haslam, spin move, floats one up from about 6 feet out, gets it to drop. Haslam now with 7 on the night. It's his first 2 of the quarter. And on the other end, Haslam getting the ball to bounce off of Altenberger's foot. Out of bounds to Roosevelt. Rough Riders with the 11-point lead and the ball. 3:05 to go here in the second quarter. Number 20, Salvino up on top. Woodford. Roosevelt's very content taking their time right now. And why not? They're up by 11. Lang kicks it over to Woodford. We've got 12 on the shot clock. Haslam down low. Spin move, floats it up from about 7 feet away, and Cameron Haslam is tough. He gets into that lane. He's got the mismatch there on size, too. He's coming in at 6'2". He gets Powder down there at 5'8". Uses those long arms and floats it over the top of Powder into the hoop. Shaw with a nice runner along the left baseline. Can't get that one to go. Evan Doyle coming down with it for the Rough Riders. Lang right around the free throw line. Throws the ball out of bounds. He thought Carl Salvino was popping out on that wing. Salvino threw the brakes on. Floats into the stands. Mountlake Terrace basketball. 2:10 to go here in the first half. Low scoring affair. Roosevelt 24, Mountlake Terrace 11. Oh, and we're having another shot clock problem once again as we get that squared away. We forgot to start the shot clock right away. The referee just had them tick off a few extra seconds. Getting that all squared away. Terrace with the ball. Down low, Lacoste goes up, loses the ball momentarily, gets it back, puts up a floater from about 4 feet away. Doesn't get it to go. Nice job by Shaw to come up with it. He misses a shot. Ball is now bouncing along the ground. Whistle blows. Let's see what they call. Going to say out of bounds off of the Mountlake Terrace Hawks. Roosevelt basketball. Derek Anima and Gabe Altenberger, 2 leading scorers for the Hawks this year. 2 guys who have been very instrumental in them getting out to a 2-win and 1-loss start. Have been held scoreless for the first half thus far. 1:29 to go here in the second quarter. Anima with 20 points against Linwood the other night. You know, on any given night, either one of those guys can go 20 plus. So far, zeros. 3-pointer up and in. Cameron Haslam can hurt you inside, and there he hurts you outside. 7 straight points for Haslam. Gives him 12 for the ball game. 27-11. Roosevelt comfortably ahead by 16 right now with 1:02 to go here in the half. Ball was batted away by Lang and out of bounds. No, they're going to say it was not touched by Lang. Altenberger threw a bounce pass. I thought Lang hit it out. So does everybody else in the gym other than the referees. Guess it does not matter what we think. They're going to give the ball to Roosevelt with 58 seconds to go. And we're going to get a hand check called against the Hawks. foul against Powder, his first, 6th team foul. So no free throws for Roosevelt yet. Hawks have yet to shoot a free throw in this game. Under a minute to go. Nice spin move by Haslam. Drives into the lane, floats it up, and gets it to go. Cameron Haslam with 9 points here in the second quarter. And he is in a groove right now. Nice underhanded shot by him. And on the other end, he gets the block. Hanima finding Lacoste down low. Lacoste thought he had an easy basket. Cameron Haslam flying out of nowhere. Swats that one out. Ball did not hit the rim, so the shot clock will not be reset. It's down to 22. 35 seconds to go here in the half. As Nolan Sudell checking back in again. One of 2 sophomores on this team. This is a Roosevelt team that is very senior heavy. We've seen that here in the first half. 6 seniors on that Rough Rider lineup, 4 of which, as we mentioned earlier, are starters. Anima looking to get that ball in, having a little bit of trouble. Finally gets it to his outlet. That's Powder up at the top, number 10. Down to 18 to go on the shot clock. They're going to call Powder for a push-off. That might have been more of a foul from earlier in the game than it was for that moment, as the referees have been warning Lewis, Gregerson, Spencer, and Gabe Powder about pushing off on each other. Didn't see much contact on that particular play, but that might have been a makeup from call the referee wanted earlier. And they get it now, 29-11. Roosevelt with an 18-point lead, 20 seconds to go here in the half. And we get an offensive push-off down low. Gabe Altenberger ended up on his stomach. That one's going to be called against Haslam, his second. 7th team foul. Offensive possession foul, so that does not merit a bonus. Got a couple of players over there, actually 3 players and a referee, trying to get a wet spot off the floor. Don't know how much success they're having, but it's entertaining to say the least. 18.8 seconds to go here in the half. Adam Lorraine checking in for the first time tonight, the 5'8" sophomore guard. Lorraine doing a nice job of getting into the key. Dishes off to Lacoste. Lacoste had a shot. Missed it, however, he does draw the foul, so give Lorraine some credit. Sucked the defense in towards him. Found Lacoste wide open. Lacoste able to draw a foul against Sudell, and this trip to the free throw line is brought to you by our From the Stripe sponsor, the Edmonds Sports Academy, 1-1, and Lacoste misses it. Oh, a little confusion there as it was a shooting foul, so he gets 2 free throws. Confusion by the players who were thinking it was a 1-1. Jonathan Lang looking to check back in. Gets scolded by the referee, who didn't like the way in which he flew onto the court without going to the scores table first. Lacoste with 1 more free throw. Has 6 points so far on the night. Gets that one to go. Only the 4th point of the quarter for the Hawks. 13 for the Roosevelt Rough Riders here in the second. 29-12. Haslam from about 17 feet away misses it. Ball comes right back to him. Clock runs out. See if they're going to put any extra time back on it. Nope, we do not have halftime yet. A little confusion as the 1.2 seconds will be put back on the clock. They're going to say Haslam was out of bounds when he grabbed the ball. Clock gets reset. So the Hawks have to go the length of the floor, and they've got just a little over a second to do it. Clock will not start until it is touched by a player inbounds. Derek Anima looks to inbound. Bert Brandenburg is going to use this to put a few substitutions in. He gets number 32, Nick Bloom, into the game, as well as number 33, who's not on our roster, so we'll have to look that one up. Nice play to Lacoste down low, throws it over the top. Doesn't get it to go. A nice effort, though. And we have come to the end of the first half, and it is all Roosevelt. here at the Terraceum. We're going to take a quick break. The score, Roosevelt 29, Mountlake Terrace 12. You are watching the Sound Alive Sports Network.
Are you a whiz in filmmaking? Do you want to become extraordinary in filmmaking? Then come to Shoreline Community College and work with Shoreline Productions, where you will learn to transform your work in teams of working professionals and students to create enchanting effects such as green screen, text animation, and so much more. So come to Shoreline Community College, where you can mystify and dazzle in filmmaking.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
People assume quality car insurance has to cost more. People assume too much. The truth is, drivers who switched to Allstate last year saved money and got better protection. So get the facts, because you know what they say about people who assume. They pay more for car insurance than you and me.
To see how much you can save on car insurance and much more, call Jeff Smar. Jeff's office serves many areas including Linwood, Edmonds, Bothell, and Mountlake Terrace. He can be reached at 425-949-7103 or jeffsmar@allstate.com. If you've been wanting to get back in the game, whether it's basketball or just improving your fitness level, Edmonds Sports Academy is the place to go. Edmonds Sports Academy. Believe in the power of play. Call them at 425-772-1901.
Hey sports fans, do you want to know when and where your favorite teams in the West Coast Conference are playing? Who won the game last night and what the current standings are? Well, it's easy to find out on westcoathletics.com. The information is entered by athletic directors and coaches, so you know it's accurate and up to date, making westcoathletics.com the place to view official scores, schedules, standings, and photos for all the schools and all the sports in the West Coast Conference. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook and check out westcoathletics.com, the official website of the West Coast Conference.
Sound Live Sports Network production services are provided by the Broadcast Field Production Class, a CTE intra-district course. If you are a student in the Edmonds School District, you can be part of the exciting world of live sports production. Learn about broadcast announcing, broadcast engineering, and sports reporting while providing a valuable service to your community. Contact your school counselor today to find out more and sign up for Broadcast Field Productions.
And welcome back to the Terraceum. It is time for the Action Jackson Plumbing halftime report. Hey, look at that, I'm my own cameraman. You got to love that. Steve Willits along with the public address announcer. How often do you get a public address announcer who switches over at halftime and jumps on the air? But it is the one and only Vince DeMiro. And Vince, not the way the Hawks wanted to start off this ball game. 29-12 in the first half.
Yeah, you know, we knew that Roosevelt was going to be tough coming in. We've heard the reports from Fall League and from Summer League that this is a team that plays very up-tempo, plays good, aggressive defense. In fact, the defense really looks a lot like defense we're used to seeing here in the Terraceum from the Hawks, where it's swarming, it's relentless, and it really has taken very effectively taking the Hawks' two top scorers out of the game entirely. I mean, Anima and Altenberger have few touches and no points. You know, the time when, you know, especially Derek, hasn't really had a chance to have the ball facing the basket yet at all.
Yeah, I'm looking at the stats here right now as they were sent over to us, and really when you look at both of those guys, I mean, 0 points, first of all.
Yeah,
and
between the two of them.
Boy, Altenberger, he's 0 for 3s tonight so far. Anima, so we try to do this off the smartphone here.
Yeah.
0 for 1. I mean, 4
right,
shots.
4 shots. I'm saying. Those guys normally will take, 4 shots maybe 2 or 3 times down the floor. So.
Yeah, these are guys that you expect to get 30 to 35 points per game.
The two of them.
Combined,
combined,
and you have 4 shots between them, 0 points. And when we start to look at some of the stats, the one thing that is going the Hawks' way, rebounding, from what we've been told anyway, from the stats I have, 9-5 in favor of the Hawks.
Right.
However, part of the reason why they are winning the rebound battle is because Roosevelt's not missing very much.
Well, that's the thing, and that's one of those deceptive stats. You look at it and you go, hey, we should be having a little bit more second chance opportunities here, but really most of those rebounds are coming on our offensive end, not on their defensive, or not on our defensive end, because Roosevelt is shooting the ball so well. And a lot of that, too, is a real smart move that the coaching staff from Roosevelt made, I would say about, 2 minutes into the second quarter when they decided to post up Haslam on Powder. They noticed that they don't have much of a size differential at all against the Hawks. I mean, Roosevelt is not a tall team. But they did have that one position where there was a clear difference, and obviously Haslam is very comfortable both at the post as well as he can shoot the three. So poor Gabe, he's got to commit, one way or the other. Do you front him and then let the ball lob in over? Do you stay behind him and let him turn and face the basket? It's a dilemma, and they've tried to do some things to get help down there to Powder, but until that's solved, I think that Roosevelt's probably going to keep going to that particular play.
Well, and give Roosevelt a lot of credit because, quite frankly, when they've come down the court, Haslam was not being guarded by Powder. He's actually forced them into the switch.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Once they get that switch, then he recognizes it. And like you said, it's 5'8" versus 6'3", 6'2", and Haslam with those long arms and just a pretty shot. I mean, nice touch. Yeah. Once he gets into that key, there's nothing that Gabe can do.
So part of what may happen, and you're exactly right that there is a switch going on there. I should have said that, but part of what Terrace might decide to do is just not switch up, or they could go to a zone. There's definitely problems with doing that, and in a lot of ways, this Roosevelt team mirrors a lot of what we're seeing from the Hawks maybe 2 years ago when we had a fairly, with the exception of Lacasse and Bowman, a team that was very athletic, all about the same height, very good ball handlers, very good shooters, could drive to the hoop. What do you do? As soon as one guy maybe cools off a little bit, somebody else is going to step up. But this Roosevelt team, doesn't really matter who they put on the floor. Yes, Haslam has the majority of the points, but it's pretty obvious that they're all pretty good shooters and pretty good ball handlers.
Yeah, and we've seen that all season long. I mean, Haslam in his first 2 games this year, 18 and 17.
Right.
So no big shock that he's going to get into double figures, but it's how quickly he's done it.
Yeah.
I've got him unofficially right now, 14 points in the first half, and that's half of their points almost.
Right. Yeah.
You're right, and if you don't start putting a stop to what he's doing, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. And then to also have their 5'9" guard score 6 points against you.
Yeah, pretty quickly and kind of off of fairly easy turnovers and that kind of thing. That doesn't help you at all. Good defense, though. I like watching teams like Roosevelt, and the Hawks play good defense as well, but I really like the style of play that Roosevelt is bringing to the floor tonight. It's very reminiscent of lots and lots of years of watching Mountlake Terrace.
Yeah, not only is Mountlake Terrace not getting the shots to fall, they're having trouble getting the looks.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Unofficially, again, 5 for 13 in the first half. 13 field goals in the first half. You need to put the ball up more if you're going to get points. It's, hey, no kidding, right?
If you don't shoot, right?
Yeah, it's that simple. I mean, the ball, in order for it to go in the hoop, it has to leave your hands.
Right.
And they're having trouble right now. And if they don't figure that out quickly, this game, if it's not already over, it's going to get away pretty quickly. And we're going to be looking to head home here in just a few minutes if the Hawks don't get going.
Right. Well, it's a dilemma, too. I mentioned that the Hawks it's not in their nature to go to a zone, but they could go to like some sort of a zone trap. But then again, this is a very good ball handling team. I don't know. I just think I come out and I say, look, let's do the things that we do well. Let's not switch whenever it's possible. Fight through the picks. And by the way, the offense that Roosevelt runs is a wonderful offense to watch, as long as you're not having to defend it, because it's constant motion. Contrast that with, unfortunately, Terrace is not getting good ball movement or good movement away from the ball, and I think that's part of why we're not seeing a lot of open shots for, especially for Anima and for Altenberger.
So there we go. We're going to take another quick break. We're about a minute away from getting this thing going, so we'll take a 30-second break. You're watching the Action Jackson Plumbing Halftime Report right here on the Sound Live Sports Network.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
And we are back again here at the Terraceum. The Mountlake Terrace Hawks 12, the Roosevelt Rough Riders 29. Getting you caught up on the scoring for the first half for the Hawks. Ryan Lacoste, 7 points tonight so far. He is leading the Hawks. Ali Shaw with 3, Justin Hopkins with 2. That was easy. That is the entire scoring for the first half for Mountlake Terrace. Get you caught up here on Roosevelt here in just a second too. And nice job, Gregerson Spencer with a steal on the inbound. Getting his team set up. Gregerson Spencer with 6 points in the first half. Get you the rest of that scoring here in just a moment. Haslam, we've already mentioned him. He has 14. He leads the game. By himself, he's outscored the Hawks so far. See, 18 seconds to go here on the shot clock. That's Salvino with the ball. Kicks it over to the corner where Haslam has it. 9 seconds to go on the shot clock. Woodford finds a cutting Gregerson Spencer. Kicks it back out to Haslam. Rims that one in and out. Massey almost brought that ball down. Draws the foul. Nice job by Shimron. We'll call that one on number 20, Carl Salvino, his first. So getting you back up to speed here on the rest of the scoring. Salvino, 3 points in the first half. Sudell with 2. And Jonathan Lang wrapping up the points with 4. This is a Roosevelt team that primarily gets its scoring from 6 different players. Noted that in their first 2 games of the year as Massey goes for the hook shot, misses it. Nice job by Lacoste. Fields that one and throws it up behind his head, gets it to go. Off the backboard, Lacoste now with 8 points. So in their first 2 games of the season, Roosevelt scored 126 points. 122 of those, so all but 4, were scored by 6 different players. And we're seeing similar tonight. Nice job by number 10, Aiden Woodford. And as soon as I say that, Woodford, who was one of those 6 players, gets his first 2 of the night. Faked one of the Hawk defenders right out of his shorts. Drove the baseline and laid that one up and in. 31-14 now. Massey from the corner. Off the rim, coming down to Woodford. Ball is in the hands of Gregerson Spencer. Roosevelt doing a nice job of swinging it around right now. Haslam with the ball on the right wing, gets it to Lang. They're down to 19 on the shot clock. Roosevelt very patient right now. Lang with a spin move. Floats into the key, travels. 31-14. Hawks trailing right now. Hawks are not able to come back on this one. This would drop their record to 2-2 on the season. That's the bad news. The good news is that this is a non-conference game. So far in conference, they're 1-0 on the year with their victory over Linwood. Altenberger looking for his first 3. Misses the shot off the mark. Coming down into the hands of Lang, number 24. Kicks it over to Gregerson Spencer. And Roosevelt once again taking their time on the offensive side of things. Lang in the left corner, floats one up from 14. Swish. Lang with his first bucket since the first quarter. He has 6 points for the night. Roosevelt extending their largest lead of the night to 33-14 with 5:18 to go here in the third quarter. Altenberger kicks it over to Lacoste. Lacoste is going to drive into the lane. Draws contact before the shot. It's going to be called against Lang, his third. Second team foul against Roosevelt as Justin Hopkins checks back into the game. Shimron Massey is going to take a seat. Massey still looking for his first points of the season. Lang with his 3 fouls is going to check out for Roosevelt as well. Altenberger still looking for his first points of the night. Kicks it down to Lacoste. Lacoste drives hard to the hoop. Draws contact. Going to say Lacoste was fouled on the shot as Woodford, number 10, picks up his second foul. Lacoste heads to the line, and this trip to the free throw line is brought to you by our From the Stripe sponsor, the Edmonds Sports Academy. Lacoste floats that one up, misses it. Lacoste 1 for 3 on the night from the free throw line. So are the Hawks, for that matter. He has all 3 of their attempts for the game. Ryan gets that one to go. Lacoste now with 10 points for the night. 33-15. Roosevelt continues to lead here from the Terraceum. Gregerson Spencer driving into the lane, kicks it out to Doyle. Doyle doing a nice job of cutting left to right through the lane. Floats one up from a few feet away, gets it to go. His first points of the night. 35-15 as Altenberg is being pressured by Doyle. Going to say he double dribbled as he lost possession. Went to get it back, and unfortunately for him, needed to pass it off before dribbling again, turning the ball back over to Roosevelt. And when it rains, it pours, and certainly we're seeing that here in the Terraceum tonight. Roosevelt already with their largest lead of the evening, looking for more. Finally ready to throw the ball back in. Doyle gets it over to Haslam. Haslam kicks it into the corner. That's Aiden Woodford. Throws it out of bounds. Mountlake Terrace basketball. Anima looking to throw the ball and finally gets it to Altenberger. The big story here tonight so far, besides the play of Cameron Haslam, the inability to score, or really to get any looks from Altenberger or Anima. Combined, they're 0 for 5 from the field. Neither one has gotten into the score sheet yet. Johnson kicks it over to Lacoste. Lacoste looking for a cutting Altenberger, makes contact with Haslam. Give Haslam credit for drawing the charges. Lacoste picks up a player control charge, his second foul of the game. First team foul against the Hawks here in the second half. Gregerson Spencer bringing the ball back up. Should mention the Hawks' next game on Saturday will be a game that we will not be broadcasting, as Doyle once again driving left baseline, scoring his 4th point of the night, 37-15. So the Hawks will be playing Puyallup down at Highline Community College at 5 p.m. on Saturday. It's an all-day tournament, as Lang almost had his hands on that one. Did get his hands on it, just couldn't wrap it up. Knocks it out of bounds. Mountlake Terrace retains possession. So 5 p.m. on Saturday, the Mountlake Terrace Hawks versus the Puyallup Vikings. It is going to be an all-day tournament taking place at Highline Community College. Plenty of good basketball to be had down there. If you get there a little bit early, you can watch extra games, get more bang for your buck. One of the games that day at noon will be a girls' game between the Linwood Royals, who are definitely one of the favorites to win the state tournament this year. They'll be playing the Wilson Rams, another top 10 team from the state. So get on down early, watch a few basketball games, and come support high school basketball. Highline Community College on Saturday. The next broadcast for the Hawks will be next Thursday. It's an away game at Edmonds Woodway. It's December 18th. We'll be bringing you all the action for that one. And if you're so inclined to do so, tune in the day before on the 17th. Both of those schools' girls programs will be playing on the Sound Live Sports Network. That game to be played in the Terraceum right here at MTHS as Gregerson Spencer floats one up from 11 feet out. Gets his first bucket of the second half. He now has 8 for the game. 39-15. Rough night for the hometown team here. It's the Hawks now trail by 24. Anima almost traveled there, able to get the dribble off just in time. Lacoste looking to go baseline, kicks it back out to Altenberger for 3. Bounces off the rim and over the back of the hoop. Altenberger still looking for his first points of the night. (39-15). Roosevelt continuing in the lead here. I think Coach Brandenburg's recognizing that his team somewhat in control here as he's about to put 3 different players into the ball game. 2:22 to go here in the third quarter. 39-15 Roosevelt. Also pause to say congratulations to the Hawks JV team. Won by 3 points earlier tonight against the Rough Rider junior varsity team. Hawks now undefeated on the season at the JV level. Coach Al Shannon doing a nice job of getting the underclassmen up and going. And there is a nice basket by Lang down low. He gets his 8th points of the night. Mountlake Terrace Hawks team that's, quite frankly, very young. Only 3 seniors on the entire squad. That ball was last touched by a Rough Rider. Again, we've got a bunch of Rough Riders checking into the game. Haslam checking back in. 21, Nolan Sudell also checking back into the game, as well as number 32, Nick Bloom. 41-15 is our score. This game was 16-8 at the end of the first quarter. Since that time, Roosevelt outscoring the Hawks 25-8 over the course of 2 quarters. So I'm sorry, 25-7. Hawks scoring 4 points in the second quarter. They only have 3 here so far in the third quarter, and there's only 13 seconds left. All 3 points coming from Ryan Lacoste. We wait to see what's going on here with the referees. I cannot figure out what's going on here right now. Oh, they're changing the shot clock down from 35 to 34, but there's only 13 seconds to go in the quarter. There might have been confusion on the referee's part. They were trying to figure out where to put the shot clock at. I think they finally recognized that the shot clock's not. Oh, there we go. Okay. A little bit of confusion here right now. The game clock was showing 13.4 a second ago, which apparently was incorrect. Or are we playing extra time now? Okay, they've reset it to 1:34. The shot clock is at 34 as the Hawks had initially tried to inbound the ball. A lot of confusion there. I looked up at the scoreboard. It was showing 13.4 seconds to go in the quarter. And at this point, I don't think either team would have cared, as it's just a matter of playing this one out. Hawks throwing that ball out of bounds with 1:25 to go. Shot clock needs to be reset one more time. There we go. We've got a new 35 on the clock. 1:24 to go. Shot clock was started early, so the referees are going to have them reset that as well. As shot clock operator started the clock, ran it down about 2 or 3 seconds before Roosevelt inbounded the ball. By the time it was finally put into play, the referee recognized that and had them start all over again. So we're finally playing basketball here. Lang with the ball out on the right wing, kicks it around. That's number 32, Bloom. Back to Haslam. Haslam, no points here so far in the second half. He hasn't really needed them. He's going to go for 2 right now. Floats it up underneath Anima, off the backboard fairly high. Can't get that one to fall, however, but Haslam does draw the foul. Heads to the line, shooting 2. Going to call that one on Lacrosse, his 3rd. Only the 2nd team foul against the Hawks here in the half as Haslam connects on the first shot. Now has 15 for the game. Mentioned his first 2 games of the year, 17 and 18. So he's slowly creeping up on those 2 numbers as he gets his 16th point as well. 43-15. Anima on the other end. No, they take that back. That's Johnson. Floats it up, misses it. Pushing the ball up is Haslam. Over to Doyle, back to Haslam. Looking into the corner, that's Lang. Lang's going to drive into the lane. Floats it high off the backboard, misses the shot. Block by Johnson. Comes down to Lacoste. Lacoste looking to get the Hawks up and running. Finally slows it down a bit as Altenberger trying to set up the offense. The Hawks with only 3 points here so far in the half. 37 seconds to go in the quarter. Johnson kicks the ball back up on top. Shaw with the ball over on the right wing right now. 12 seconds to go on the shot clock. Anima setting a screen for Shaw. Shaw getting trapped initially there. 6 seconds to go on the shot clock. Altenberger up on top. He's being guarded by Doyle. Tries to pick up a screen from Anima. And we're going to get a blocking foul against Roosevelt as the shot clock expired. Second time tonight that the Hawks have taken the shot clock down to 1 second before the Roosevelt Rough Riders have bailed them out. Evan Doyle getting called for the foul, his first, 5th team foul against Roosevelt here in the half. So it is a non-shooting. So with 15.6 seconds to go here in the third quarter, Terrace gets a new shot clock, which essentially means it's off for the quarter. Down to 7 seconds to go. Altenberger kicks it into the corner. Johnson floats one up. However, he does draw contact. It's just a matter of whether or not they're going to say this was a shooting foul. They do, in fact, say it is. So number 21, Nolan Sudell, picking up his 3rd foul. Daniel Johnson heads to the line, and this trip to the free throw line is brought to you by our From the Stripe sponsor, the Edmonds Sports Academy. Johnson missing that one off the front of the iron. Daniel looking for his first points of the night. 4 seconds to go in the quarter. Misses that one as well. Anima doing a nice job of getting an offensive board. Down to 2 seconds, floats it up. Doesn't get it to go. Johnson has a chance to get it in. Also comes up short, and we have come to the end of the third quarter of play. A quarter that was dominated by Roosevelt, outscoring the Hawks 14-3. We're going to take a quick break. You are watching the Sound Live Sports Network.
If you've been wanting to get back in the game, whether it's basketball or just improving your fitness level, Edmonds Sports Academy is the place to go. Edmonds Sports Academy, believe in the power of play. Call them at 425-772-1901.
Welcome back to the Sound Live Sports Network, brought to you by Shoreline Community College. The Roosevelt Rough Riders just taking it to the Mountlake Terrace Hawks tonight, 43-15 as we head to the final quarter of play. Roosevelt getting a few new players into the game. Number 23, Philip Swanson, the junior, getting his first action of the night. Johnson kicks the ball over to Woodford. Back to Swanson. Woodford drives into the lane, kicks it out to number 33, who's not on my roster, so let me see if I can get the name on that one. And the ball goes out of bounds. It is Nate. Oh, it's also another Sudell. Okay, so we got apparently, assuming it's Nolan's brother, so Nate Sudell into the game. No doubt a JV player who came up to get some varsity action tonight. So 33-21 brothers, but not on the court at the same time, I should mention. Nice job to drive the lane there is Johnson. However, he's going to get called for a charge. I believe that was Swanson that drew the foul there. Nice job by the Rough Riders to stand their ground. Johnson now with 2 fouls on the game. 3 fouls against the Hawks here in the second half. Swanson, a player who is looking for his first points of the season. Did not score in the first 2 games. Kicks the ball around right now. That's over to number 20, Salvino, being guarded by Anima. Back over to Woodford. That's Henry Whitmarsh, a name we haven't called yet tonight. 6'3" junior. So Roosevelt doing a nice job of getting some of their players extra action here tonight as Aiden Woodford floats one up, misses it off the front of the rim. Lacoste pulling down the rebound. Hawks looking to get a few more points before this game's over. It has not been easy tonight. 15 points, and we're in the fourth quarter. Nate Sudell is going to pick up the foul, his first. 7th team foul, so that will put the Hawks on the line for 1-1. And Daniel Johnson steps to the line. And this trip to the free throw line is brought to you by our From the Stripe sponsor, the Edmonds Sports Academy. Johnson missing the front end of the 1-1. Hawks have missed a few free throws tonight. Normally, you'd put a little more credence on that and make it more of a concern, but really, in a 28-point game, it doesn't matter. Nice job by Roosevelt to work that ball around, and Woodford getting his second basket of the night. He now has 4 points, 45-15. The Rough Riders tripling up the Hawks here in the Terraceum with 6:08 to go in the ball game. Nice job by Shaw. Working the ball around, gets it over to Daniel Johnson, the sophomore. Johnson kicks it over to Anima. He's going to put up a long three. Still looking for his first points is Anima. Looking at a goose egg in the scorers column, as is Gabe Altenberger right now. That's the most shocking thing of this game. 2 leading scorers for the Hawks. Coming up with zeros for both of them so far tonight. Swanson floats one up from about 12 feet away. Overshot the rim, hits off the backboard. Coming down to the Hawks. Anima wanting to run right now. He's got a lane. Nice job by Derek. Derek saw that as soon as he crossed over center court. Immediately yelled out to Johnson to dish him the ball, and he does. And Derek just gets that body going, flying towards the hoop. Drew the foul as number 20, Salvino, makes contact, his second foul. And Anima might get on the board for the first time tonight, and it does. And this trip to the free throw line is brought to you once again by our From the Stripe sponsor, the Edmonds Sports Academy. Mentioned the Hawks only had 5 field goals in the first half. So far in the second half, not much better, or actually a lot worse. Only 1 field goal as Anima hits the second free throw. So a Ryan Lacoste basket and 3 free throws, and that is all the Hawks have here in the entire half. They were down 29-12 at intermission. It is now 45-17. Anima going for the steal. Misses the ball, however, he does come up with contact on Evan Doyle. Only the 4th foul against the Hawks here in the half, so it is going to be a non-shooting foul. Anima picks up his second foul. We were pointing out earlier, this is a Hawks team that only has 3 seniors on the entire squad. No doubt a team that is going to grow and get better as the season progresses. Not sure for some of the Hawks fans who have become accustomed to the teams that we've seen in the last few years here with Lauren Lacoste, Greg Bowman, Blake Fernandez, Marcus Armstead, Kobe Russell, Ryan Shannon, just to name a few. I don't think we're going to have that team that's going to dominate and win 80 or 90% of their games this year. However, as number 32, Nick Bloom, gets on the board for the first time tonight, 47-14. This should be a team that they're going to have games like this tonight where occasionally they're going to take a beating and hopefully learn from it, but they're going to also have games where they excel. And there we go, Anima with his first field goal of the night, a 3-pointer. Now has 5 points for the game, 47-20. I think if you take the approach that you're watching this team with the intent of seeing how they can grow throughout the year and how they can improve their game, definitely something to look forward to for the Hawks this year. And I don't think every game is going to be like this. I can tell you for sure it will not. They lost badly to Marysville Pilchuck last week and rebounded the next night to beat Linwood by 24. And there will be plenty of Hawks games where they're the ones outscoring the opponent. Unfortunately, tonight is not one of those nights as Doyle drives the lane and gets blocked by Johnson. However, they're going to say Johnson made contact, and that's going to put Doyle to the line for 2. Johnson now with 4 fouls on the game. 6th team foul against the Hawks is Evan Doyle stepping to the line with 4:10 to go in the game. Misses the first shot.
Hey, you're the point. Get to your spot. Get to your spot.
Doyle with 4 points on the night. You can hear Coach Johnny Phillips shuffling a few players around a little bit, as pointing out to Daniel Johnson he's running the point now, so he needs to stand in the preferred spot. Actually, I take that back. They're putting Gabe Altenberger into the point as Doyle hits his first free throw of the night. He now has 5 for the game, 48-20. Roosevelt employing a little bit of a backcourt press, a very loose one at that. As they let Johnson come up, and Johnson thought Anima was cutting further into the backcourt than he did. Throws the ball away. Roosevelt basketball. Now under 4 minutes to go. Very gloomy looking Mountlake Terrace crowd tonight as there so many folks still here watching the game. They're going to stay until the end. See a lot of football players over there. Point out some of the Hawks, a couple Hawks football players in particular, getting all area honors that came out earlier this week. All area different than all Wesco, in which there's 31 or 32 high schools that are considered for all area honors. Much more prestigious award to get than an all league, fewer spots. And Austin Bates, the tight end, getting second team honors earlier this week. And the other player that was awarded all area, Ryan Lacoste, the basketball player, number 30. Lacoste, of course, having a huge year for the Hawks, the season in which saw the Hawks win more football games than at any other season in their school's 54-year history. As Anima heading back to the line, hits the first one in this trip to the free throw line. It is also brought to you by our From the Stripe sponsor, the Edmonds Sports Academy. So Lacoste with a very successful football season. He checks out of this game. I believe he's done for the night on the basketball front. Leading the team in scoring tonight, too, I might add. Assuming that might be the last time we see Lacoste tonight. 10 points. Not bad for a guy who popped his shoulder out in the game against Marysville-Pilchuck last Friday and managed to go to the locker room, pop it back in, and still came out and finished the game. 22-48. Adam Lorraine back into the game now, playing point. Being guarded by Swanson. Kicks it over to Derek Anima. Down to 3:10 to go. Anima floating one up from about 14 feet out. Misses it. However, Shimron Massey, offensive board and the putback. Massey with his first points of the season. 48-24. Nate Sudell with the ball. Kicks it over to brother. It's Nolan Sudell. Kicks it back out to Whitmarsh. Whitmarsh floats one up over Massey. Nice job by Shimron to force an off-balance shot. Anima coming down with the rebound. Anima's going to go coast to coast. Floats it up, misses it. Altenberger tries to tip it back in. Off the backboard, doesn't get it to fall. Roosevelt coming away with the ball, and Gabe Altenberger still looking for his first points of the ball game. 2:22 left. Nice backdoor play. Doesn't get it, but draws the foul. Number 33, Nate Sudol, finding a cutting Henry Whitmarsh. Beautiful plays. Whitmarsh doesn't make the basket, however, does get fouled by Massey. Massey picking up his second. And Whitmarsh will shoot two. High arcing shot, a very flat one at that. It hit the back of the rim and just rolled off. Not much spin on that ball at all. Whitmarsh still looking for his first points of the night. Misses this one as well. Derek Anima still playing strong. Goes up for the rebound. Interesting. Are they going to call that on Anima? Believe that maybe a lane violation. I couldn't tell what they called there. Referees are not signaling a foul, so they're going to call Anima for a lane violation. It gives Whitmarsh one more attempt at a free throw. This time he converts. 49-24. 2:18 to go here in the ball game. Stay tuned. After the game, we will have our Sound Live Sports Network player of the game. Get an interview with one of the players, as well as present the player of the game t-shirt. Shaw with the ball, kicks it up to Massey. Now under 2 minutes to go in the ball game as Lorraine being guarded over by Swanson. Altenberger floats one up along the left side. Can't get it to go, however, does draw the foul from Nolan Sudell. His fourth foul. It's the 10th team foul against the Rough Riders. And Altenberger heads to the line shooting two, and this trip to the free throw line is brought to you by our From the Stripe sponsor, the Edmonds Sports Academy, as Altenberger with his first point of the game with only 1:55 to go in the contest. It's the second one as well. Still does not have a field goal tonight. And if you've watched Gabe Altenberger at all over the last season plus, you know that he's not going to have too many games in which he does not score a field goal. Swanson with the ball, being guarded by Lorraine, cuts it back into the lane, floats one up from about 8 feet out. Misses the shot, but draws contact. We call Adam Lorraine with the foul, his first. And Philip Swanson, who's yet to score tonight, steps to the free throw line with 1:41 to go. This is the first one. One more shot for Swanson. One more miss. Altenberger able to come up with the rebound. 1:39 to go here in the ball game. 49-26. Adam Lorraine looking to get the ball to Shaw. Threw it away as it goes right to Nick Bloom. Give Bloom a lot of credit, too, for coming up with it. Swanson drives in, and nice job. Adam Lorraine standing his ground, draws the charge as Swanson runs him over. Swanson picks up his first foul. That is textbook right there, as Lorraine did not flinch. Allowed Swanson to run him over, and Hawks get the basketball. 1:24 to go here in the game. Altenberger tripping. Referees decide that there's no foul there, as Nolan Sudell was on the defense, and I guess the ball didn't touch Sudell either. They're going to give the ball over to Roosevelt with 1:21 to go. Swanson sets up the offense. So again, the loss tonight will drop the Hawks to 2-2 overall. Roosevelt will take their record to 3-0. Sudell from deep downtown. Swanson saves it. That does not reset the shot clock, as it was an air ball. Back over to Whitmarsh. We're down to 10 on the shot clock right now. Bloom with the ball over in the corner. Floats one up from about 9 feet out. Goes off the rim into the hands of Derek Anima. New shot clock here as Altenberger staying in the ball game. Bring the ball back up on top. He's being guarded by Nolan Sudell. Kicks the ball to Lorraine. Lorraine trying to find Massey down low, and does, as Bloom got his hand on it initially. Shaw putting up another three. Off the back iron and coming down to Nolan Sudell. Shot clock now turned off as we're at 24 seconds to go in the ball game. Roosevelt dribbling it out as they know that they are well on their way to their third victory of the year in as many games. Mentioned it earlier, they've got O'Day on Friday night. That will be a tough game. That is an O'Day team that is poised to make a run at a state championship this year possibly. And there is the final tick of the clock. Our final score tonight, Roosevelt 49, Mountlake Terrace 26. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will have our Sound Alive Sports Network Player of the Game. You are watching the Sound Alive Sports Network.
Sound Live Sports Network production services are provided by the Broadcast Field Production Class, a CTE intra-district course. If you are a student in the Edmonds School District, you can be part of the exciting world of live sports production. Learn about broadcast announcing, broadcast engineering, and sports reporting while providing a valuable service to your community. Contact your school counselor today to find out more and sign up for Broadcast Field Productions. If you've been wanting to get back in the game, whether it's basketball or just improving your fitness level, Edmonds Sports Academy is the place to go. Edmonds Sports Academy, believe in the power of play. Call them at 425-772-1901.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
And welcome back to the Sound Live Sports Network. Our final score once again tonight, 49-26. The Roosevelt Rough Riders defeating the Mountlake Terrace Hawks. And our player of the game, and I should point out, you get a T-shirt too. Pretty cool, huh? So we've got Cameron Haslam. Cameron with 14 points in the first half, a very quiet second half because you weren't really needed, quite frankly. And I'm going to adjust this on your hair too, Cameron, so you can hear us there. So 18 points, a 17-point, and a 16-point night for you. Not a bad season so far, right?
Yeah, good start. Just keep getting better, and yeah.
And more importantly, not only is it a good start, but it's 3 victories, right? You'll take that even more so.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely starting a new league. We're getting used to the new pace, so yeah, it's a good start for us.
Well, let's talk about that for a minute. You guys were in Kingco last year.
Yeah.
You're switching over to Metro. I don't think I have to tell you this. You've probably looked at some of the opponents you have coming up, right?
Yeah.
What do you think of that schedule?
It's a tough schedule. It's a different pace, so it's like we got to get used to the new speed, like a lot more pushing on the fast break and more athletic teams, so we got to get used to that. But I think we have O'Day coming up Friday. They're an athletic team, and I think we'll be ready, though.
So you've got O'Day, Eastside Catholic, and Rainier Beach coming up, I think, 3 of your next 4 opponents. So you're really going to get caught up to speed quickly, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah.
You ready for Murray at Rainier Beach?
Oh, yeah.
I saw 52 points last night from him, the future UW player. Let's talk about this game a little bit tonight. 14 points in the first half. We noted in the second quarter a couple times, you seem to get that mismatch with Powder, who's given up about 5 or 6 inches.
Yeah.
Were you looking to get that switch off and get that mismatch on Powder, or did it just kind of come about, or what was the
Well,
was
to
the
be
intent
honest, coming into this game, we didn't know anything about this team, so that was just something we realized halfway, like coming into the game, is that I was having a little bit trouble getting the hoop at the start, so I started posting up, and I realized I had a mismatch, and when I started being aggressive, I could actually get some stuff going inside, so yeah, it worked out.
And how's the rest of the team looking this year so far? I mean, again, 3 victories. Bainbridge Island by 15. You beat West Seattle by 23. What can we expect from this team moving forward, and how comfortable are you guys feeling with each other right now?
We're feeling really comfortable. The good thing about this team is we've been playing together for like our whole 5-6 years together, this core group of seniors. So we know what we're going to get each night. We're always going to give everything on defense, so defense is going to be there every night, and then we're just going to keep improving on offense. And once we get our rhythm going, I think we can compete with a lot of teams in this league.
And I should have asked you about that earlier too. Defensively, 26 points for the night, but really a lot of that was in quote-unquote garbage time. This is a Mountlake Terrace team that prides itself on playing offense. 8 points in the first quarter for the Mountlake Terrace Hawks, 4 points in the second quarter, 3 points in the third quarter. Is that something you guys work on a lot of practice?
Oh, yeah, definitely. We were focusing tonight on playing help middle so that we can take away any driving opportunities they had, because they're pretty good at getting to the basket, as you know about these guys. We kind of knew a little bit about them coming in, so we were focusing on communicating with each other and getting help middle so we can stop any driving lanes. And
stopping them you did to a nice total there tonight. So, again, final score 49-26. We're going to take another quick break here right now, but, again, we congratulate Cameron Haslam for being the player of the game. And, Cameron, I'll have you stick around. We're going to get a picture of you in a moment so we can put that up on the internet here. But, again, final score 49-26. Take a quick 60-second break, and we'll come right back to wrap this up. You're watching the Sound Live Sports Network.
Sound Live Sports Network production services are provided by the Broadcast Field Production Class, a CTE intra-district course. If you are a student in the Edmonds School District, you can be part of the exciting world of live sports production. Learn about broadcast announcing, broadcast engineering, and sports reporting while providing a valuable service to your community. Contact your school counselor today to find out more and sign up for Broadcast Field Productions. If you've been wanting to get back in the game, whether it's basketball or just improving your fitness level, Edmonds Sports Academy is the place to go. Edmonds Sports Academy, believe in the power of play. Call them at 425-772-1901.
And we are back again here on the Sound Alive Sports Network. Final score 49-26. The Roosevelt Rough Riders defeating the Mountlake Terrace Hawks. We're going to keep this very short tonight. As, quite frankly, from the Mountlake Terrace standpoint, not a lot to report in terms of statistics. 26 points will get you caught up on the individual scoring. Ali Shaw with 3 points tonight. Gabe Altenberger with 2. Ryan Lacoste, the leading scorer, with 10. Derek Anima, 7 points, all in the fourth quarter. and then Shimron Massey with 2 points. Looking over at the Roosevelt Rough Rider side of things, Lewis Gregerson Spencer, 8 points. Evan Doyle with 5. Aiden Woodford, 4. We mentioned Cameron Haslam, 16 points, 14 of which came in the first half. Carl Salvino, 3 points. Nolan Sudell, 2. Jonathan Lang, 8. Nick Bloom, 2. Henry Whitmarsh, 1. And that is your total scoring right there, 49-26. So we'd like to remind you once again, our next Mountlake Terrace boys broadcast will be a week from tomorrow, Mountlake Terrace versus Edmonds Woodway. That game will be played at Edmonds Woodway High School. The night before, the Mountlake Terrace High School girls team will play a home game against Edmonds Woodway, and that game will also be broadcasted on the Sound Alive Sports Network. A couple more plugs real quick. This Saturday, we'll have a doubleheader coming to you on the Sound Live Sports Network. Edmonds Woodway versus Meadowdale. That is boys and girls. Girls game at 5:15, boys game at 7:15. You can tune in right here on Sound Live Sports Network and watch both of those games. And if you're a Mountlake Terrace Hawks fan and you want to support the Hawks boys basketball team, head on down to Highline Community College on Saturday, 5 p.m. start. The Hawks will be taking on the Puyallup Vikings. So once again, not the way that it was planned for the Hawks tonight. Can't win every game apparently, and they showed that this evening. Final score, 49-26. Roosevelt wins. For everybody involved with this broadcast, Evan Parton, who ran the camera tonight, Angelo Camo, my name's Steve Willits. Thank you for watching the Sound Alive Sports Network. Have a good night.